We are settling in the city. We are becoming citizens of Santarcangelo slowly. And it has been very beautiful to be here, but also a bit difficult because we all moved from different places of the world into Amsterdam just 3 weeks before we came here, and now we are resettling again. And it's been very beautiful to be introduced into this universe of the festival, which seems to me a very charged universe, like a very much of a family sort of construction or network, and also very charged with mythologies. And I'm really curious to come back here in summer to actually experience the festival. I'm really looking forward.
And to be in Santarcangelo is quite different. It's a slower kind of time, as the case is with most smaller cities. So it allows for me a greater focus on the subject, which is time, of course. So it's pretty. It gives you kind of more an embodied feeling of how the time is different.
In a global way, we are all stuck into this idea of the master clock, which means all these really flat artificial ideas, but that are true. Time is running, time is linear, we are walking towards death. So what we do with our time.
As a form are really, really interesting and somewhat problematic, or I have questions about them. And so it's interesting to be here while a festival is being made. I would love to have more conversation around that, although I understand that that's challenging, and but that's something that's interesting to me. And I'm really grateful and hopeful that we will be able to come back. I think that'll be super interesting to have been here during this moment and then to come back and see what it's like.
This question of time, it's really triggering in the way of how we are living here for 4 weeks and how we are sharing experiences during the workshops, but also all the experiences around, around the work, like more living or spending time together, and how this other practice or private practices interrupts or dialogue with your work.
Good for me because we just joined the school, and we also didn't know each other, and the idea of time is very different for all of us.
Daniela said something very intelligent the other night, I thought, which was that the goal in structuring the month has been to give us some new directions and to open some doors that maybe we didn't know existed, or different ways of thinking about this subject, about time, in a performative context, without suggesting a methodology, let's say, because you've quite this dilemma with our group, because everyone has super different backgrounds.
I think the language of the art is not just language of education, and there are some differences. So in this balance between those two, and with a lot of openness and a lot of, I would say, positive approaches, we may say that this was good experience overall when we look at that.